Yeah, it's on.
Testing. Testing. You can hear me?
Everybody ready?
Yeah, they have it.
Yes, we have it.
You have to use the clicker.
All righty, Miss Lynne, shall we?
Good evening. I'm Lynne, Interim Director for OPED.
You have to hold the mic, take it out of the stand. Yep, there you go.
You can
This
stand
better?
up and walk
Yes.
around now.
Better? Okay. Good evening. I'm Lynne Wooden, Interim Director for OPED. And we have some of our OPED staff here tonight that I will introduce, as well as some of our financial partners. So with that, if you could please stand. We have Doug Antonacci with us tonight. And Krista Colas. Donna DeBlantis. And, am I missing anyone from OPED? Amber St. Clair.
Hi, Amber.
And our financial partners, John Rogers.
Thank you, John.
Stacy Ring. And Julie Zogadar.
I'm not asking her any questions. Do my lesson.
Okay. All right. I'd like to just talk about our department structure. Within our department, we have 3 divisions: community development, economic development, and our fiscal services. And our staff. If you can see our minority section, please, I'd like to point that out. We have 5 out of 10 females, 2 minorities out of 10, and then we have 2 interns with us, female and minority. As we have a budgeted head count for 12 in this fiscal year, we are posting for an operation coordinator for the Housing and Community Development Division. Krista now oversees the Lead and Healthy Home programs. With the increase in grants, mainly is the reason for additional staff in that area. The next slide is just a pass-through of our funding. The majority of our funds are passed through the Fed and state programs. 10% of OPED's budget, approximately $3 million, is from the corporate fund. And then the next slide is just a chart of the funding by source. 50% of the funds are federal, 47 are TIF, and the local tax funds, the 3% includes the cannabis. This next slide is a snapshot of our budget for fiscal year 24. We have an increase of $5.2 million due to the increase in awards and grants and rolling some of our funds forward. And the next slide is pass-through funding by fund. The top half of this in the gray or blue section is grant related, and the bottom half is the TIF, and then the cannabis is governed by local ordinance. So the total budget for awards and grants is $27,575,567. We're going to go into a little more detail on the next slide, but I just wanted to briefly talk about the American Rescue Plan coming out of the corporate fund. It's composed of the workforce development, $750,000 apprenticeship program for underserved youth, the housing redevelopment, $1 million Bloomberg Harvard whole block redevelopment, and the teen empowerment zone, building improvements, approximately $441,000. I just wanted to point out some of our accomplishments and things we've been working on. For economic development, mostly all TIP related, Poplar Place, the Lofts on Madison, which is the Adirondack project, Floyd's Thirst Parlor. We were able to give the YMCA their final payment a few months ago. Aaron Ackery, he is renovating the apartments at 4 Old State Capitol Plaza. Springfield Electric, Madison Park Place, the Pillsbury neighborhood area, and then the 27 cannabis recipients receiving approximately $622,000. I'd like to have Krista come up and talk about the housing and community development.
Hello, everyone. I just wanted to tell you about some of our programs. Through CDBG and public facilities and public services, we're funding quite a bit of projects. We have our Helping Hands project, Senior Services, the Phoenix Project, UCP acquisition, and in the future, some renovations. Salvation Army, we have Mercy, Goodwill, the Street Renaissance. Through our lead and Healthy Homes and Healthy Homes production, we have about $5.4 million. With that, we hope to do lead remediation and Healthy Homes activities on approximately 300 very low to moderate income, privately owned residents here throughout the city of Springfield. And again, those homes we will prioritize the opportunity zones and the low to moderate income census tracts. In addition, we have some CDBG CV funds left. We have business assistance for parklets, job training, housing redevelopment, homeless outreach, and we have some renovations still to do at Comer Park. Yes. In addition, we have the Home ARP. These are our homeless initiatives. We have about $2.38 million. Currently, we are working with the COC to implement some of the Heartland Housed Plan. This will be posted in February. Thank you.
Thank you.
Donna?
Hi, your local grant writer. Thanks for having me back. We did have a very successful year. Thanks to you guys, I was able to add Amber to my team. She serves as the compliance officer, so she helps us keep straight with all the regulations and the rules and the reporting and all those kinds of things to keep us out of HUD jail or the state and local affiliations that we have. Our office, the two of us manage about $6 million a portfolio in grants, active grants. About $2 million of that is for Office of Planning Economic Development. The other $4 million is through the police department or the legislative grants, so it could be any number of places. Springfield Convention and Visitors Bureau, we do a lot of their reporting for them and maintenance of their grants for them as well. We are in the process of applying for $10 million about, so that is all of those great funds you've heard about. We've got the Infrastructure and Jobs Act, we've got the Build Back Better, we've got all this money coming in. This is what I told you last year, that we were going to run, we weren't going to walk. So we're up to about applying for about $10 million of some of those dollars. That doesn't include the CDLP and the Public Works and all those other organizations that do their own pieces. And that is the major programs that we have this year. We got an ICEJA program. We talked about literacy. This is to help students who are enrolled at Lawrence Education Center who are trying to get their GED or their high school diploma, as we call it now. So we'll be working with them. We can break down all kinds of barriers. We've got money for transportation, for gas, for clothing, for internship money. So we can actually help people with barriers that other places can't help with. So ICEJA's been very grateful with that. We got the $625,000 for the African American History Museum expansion. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but they're expanding the exhibit space and also their training space. They have a summer program and they do all of the arts programs as well. And then working with SCVB, you guys know you're going to hear a lot about Route 66. So anytime you hear money coming in for Route 66, let Scott Dahl know or me, and we'll go out and get some of that for you. Thanks.
Thank you, Donna.
All righty, so, again, Alderman Donlin.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. Just one quick question. In the green sheets, there are several positions listed. And if you don't know this, you can get it for me later. Can you tell me how many positions on the green sheet pages are presently vacant?
I don't think they're done with their thing. I think they still got,
Well, we don't have any vacancies, but we're looking to add more staff.
How many you need?
Right, just how many, like which positions in the green sheets aren't presently filled is what I'm asking. You don't have to give it to me now, just later. That'd be
Oh,
great.
okay.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Two.
Just two.
Alderwoman Conley.
I'm sorry, I didn't know if Lynn was, are you finished?
Are you done, Miss Lynn?
Oh, I'm sorry, just taking some notes.
Okay, no, I mean, I didn't know, I wasn't quite sure that you were at the end of your presentation yet. I can wait.
Oh, no,
Okay.
not yet.
Okay.
Thanks, Chair, I can wait.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought she was done.
You took a breath.
Let's see, where were we? Okay. Also on our accomplishments, wanted to add, as far as community outreach, we participated with the Springfield Police Department Shot Spotter Community Outreach, and it was very successful. The door-to-door, I think, was well-received, and all in all, it was a really good event. Also, from community redevelopment, we're the Bloomberg Harvard Whole Block redevelopment and the Heartland House strategy and homeless initiatives are part of our goals for 2024, as well as initiating a list of new programs, Illinois Department of Public Health Clearwind Grant, the Home ARP Plan Development and Implementation, Illinois Housing Development Authority Home Repair and Accessibility Program Grant, Illinois Criminal Justice Information Authority R3, the Brighter Futures Grant, and the citywide Housing Exterior Rehabilitation Program. More goals. One of the things we are working very hard on is to eliminate some of the impediments to existing and new programs. The cannabis and citywide rehabilitation, exterior rehab. We've been brainstorming within the department. Our next round of cannabis is coming, as well as the citywide exterior rehab. We were, again, brainstorming, so we are open to any other suggestions. But one of the things we thought about is holding some informational meetings once the recipients, once we, finalized and know who the recipients are. We think that would be a great way to kick it off, and, maybe have 1 to 2 meetings and go over from A to Z, go through the contracts, the procedures. I think it would just be, very helpful for everyone. And in addition with that, we were one of our thought process was to partner with the Small Business Development Center for applicant assistance. Again, I think that would be, because some of the application process can be very confusing. So, and then Another thing that would be helpful to the recipients is if the city would prepare an award letter for the recipients to provide to their vendors when they're going out and getting estimates. So that's what we're working to put in place, and we think that it's going to help tremendously with the entire program. We're also working to expand our contractor list for OPED programs through training. We want to increase the minority and women business participation. And we want to update and automate documents and programs operations. We want to prioritize our customer relationship management. We have implemented the CityWorks system, and we think that will be a great help to learn that application, and I think it would help with productivity as well as it's just a cleaner way of doing things. We will at some point want to assign a coordinator to the business development project. Again, to take, intakes and get, start the whole process for some of these programs, specifically cannabis related. I know we went through this rather quickly.
Don't worry about it. We got questions for you.
Well, I assume so. That's a lot of information. Thank you, first of all, for your time tonight, and we'll open it up to questions.
Alderman Donlin, I'll start with you, sir.
I asked my question,
You
Chairman.
all
Thank you.
right. Alderwoman Conley.
He jumped in early. Thank you. And thank you for the presentation. I have just a couple of quick questions. I'll start with my last one first. What does it mean when you say expand contractor list? Are you providing lists of licensed contractors to people who are going through the rehab programs or the exterior rehab, or what does that mean?
Hi, so through our Healthy Homes and lead grants, we,
Gotta hold
Yeah, it's
it
on.
close to your-
is it on?
to the podium.
There you go. Or stand up, it's easy.
Yes, sir, I'm at the podium. So through some of those grant awards, we were able to get a fair amount of training funds, and those are for specialized, like lead remediation. So the Illinois Department of Public Health is the one that licenses our lead contractors through the state. Very difficult and very specialized license. In addition, we're providing Healthy Homes production training. So do things like some of the mold remediation and some of those activities. So those will all be funded through HUD. Most recently, the state of Illinois hosted a lead remediation training. And they called, the housing person called me and said, can you fill my class up? And we were able to call about 15 contractors, and I think 12 of them showed up over there. And I've heard that 1 or 2 of them has actually gone through and gotten their lead license. So we're pretty happy for that. But our funding will pay for that kind of training.
Okay, so this is for contractors who want to get licensed in that specific lead lead worker. Do you do
Yes.
asbestos lead workers too?
Well, it's specialized, no, not really asbestos. We're talking lead.
Just lead, okay,
Yeah.
and that's funded through HUD?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so that's part of the lead removal, or is that the EPA with the lead removal grant?
We don't have an EPA grant.
So it's all HUD's money?
It's all, yeah, and,
Okay.
and because the state of Illinois has the most stringent lead laws in the nation, our lead contractors have got to be very specifically trained in order to do this work. So we recently also got in Illinois Department of Public Health, we just received another $1 million in funding, so we are working hand in hand with the Illinois Department of Public Health to get these contractors trained.
It's wonderful, thank you. Then my other quick comment is, I really appreciate the information meetings, especially for people who are doing the exterior home rehab We talked about this, hiring a contractor can be very complicated and confusing. We want to make sure that people who are using these funds are getting qualified contractors and know what questions to ask and what to look for in a contractor. So I appreciate you making the effort to hold that kind of, those meetings with people. And then finally, my last question is around the cannabis funds. In your slide, you have the business grants, and I guess this is just for homeowners of $750,000. The budget has $1.75 million. So is the other portion of that, what's the difference in those numbers? If you can just explain that to me.
I get to fall on the sword here because that's Julie's happy fingers.
Okay.
Slide is correct, and I can't have a normal typo like.
Oh, they're going to make you go up to the podium now.
Okay, I can't have a normal typo like anybody else. I have to have a $1 million typo. So if you can go on the bottom of page 2 on your long forms and change that 1.75 to 750.
Okay.
I got it right on the slides, but thank you for that, Alderwoman.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call it. I was just like, hold up. How much is coming in?
I was so mortified when I caught that after we printed the books.
Don't, listen, at least you didn't short yourself by $1 million. I mean, that's great. And thank you. I was confused, but thank you for that. I appreciate it. And trust me, I've had spelling errors in bigger reports that were much worse than that.
That's what it is. We just need to fix that. And you'll get it at a floor change.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Wow, we found $1 million already.
We've lost $1 million.
Alderman Williams.
Yes, Director. So, did I hear us correctly that the answer was 2? That's about what you're short right now, 2 staff?
Well, one for sure,
Okay.
because we have a job posting right now. Oh, I'm so sorry. One we have posted for the, what is it? Operations coordinator.
Okay.
In the Krista's area. And, we're looking to have another economic development, more like an admin to help with everything in the
Okay.
economic development area.
Yeah, and I'm asking because I just felt like over this year, mostly in the cannabis area, but just working in general with your department, that you needed another staff person. And I'm hoping that as we're working on this budget, that we add a staff to your team. I mean, it will be up to you on how you utilize them and everything, but I do get complaints of timeliness and, slowness, and I'm understanding more just right now hearing you tell me the shortage areas. But then I just think with these 4 new initiatives or 5 new initiatives, you're definitely going to need another staff. So I'll just make that comment right now. We'll discuss it later. And then my second question I want to ask you is dealing with this R3 Bright Future grant. If someone can just elaborate on that a little bit about what it does and what it's for,
Okay, so on the Brighter Futures Collaborative, it's us partnering with Lawrence Education Center District 186. What it's doing is that a lot of the grants that are currently out there only catch the age group 16 to 24. We go up to 99 as written in the grant, and essentially we're incentivizing them to complete their diploma or their GED, and then we're also giving them money for any type of shortcomings that would keep them from completing their education. We're also going to try to get them into bridge programs as far as like CNA, construction, hospitality, and I want to say it's another one, but I can't think off the top. IT, thank you. So we have that, and then there's a pot of money that's also provided to them as well. That's for car repair fund, for bus passes, bus tokens. There's also a part that for each test they complete, they get $125 per test or something like that. So once they complete all 4, it's like $450. It's $400 or so dollars. So the whole point of this program was for us to be able to increase economic development and also help those that are impacted either with criminal justice involvement, low income or unemployment, as well as not having their education, so that way they can be on a better path to be able to have a better economic future.
Yeah, well, you answered the question, the connection. I know other entities that have R3.
Yeah,
You know, I
there's-
was trying to figure
yeah.
out, well, where's the city fit in with, but you answered it
Yeah, because
real
like
good,
if you're
so I
talking about like the
appreciate it.
Urban League or like let's
Yeah.
say I forget the other one, but the Urban League there's is 16 to 24.
Okay,
So-
I appreciate you.
Yeah, no
Thanks.
problem.
That's all I have.
Alderwoman Conley, you back on there?
No, I'm not.
Okay, you was back on I want to make sure. Alderwoman Purchase.
Thank you, Chair. That brings just another concern to touch on that Alderman Williams brought up. I had 3 people reach out to me. Is there somebody taking over emails that go to Ravi? Because they haven't responded or heard back from him? And I don't see him here tonight.
No, and the answer is yes.
Okay.
So we'll go back and review everything, but yes.
Okay. That was one. And then 2, just some clarification. When I was going over the budget, I saw that Enos Park TIF project fund revenues are increasing by 40%, but we're budgeting for $100,000 less for awards and grants. Why is that? Just want to make sure I'm not reading it wrong neither. I think it was on page 4. Not of this one that you guys gave me in the budget book.
Are you talking about the revenues?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to make a general budget statement about TIF, where it's budgeting at its best is a moving target. But for the TIF districts, the revenues are fairly stable because they're property tax increments.
Mm-hmm.
Where we budget what's called the 2110 line, you refer to it as awards and grants. And what Alderwoman Purchases is talking about is line 2110. We had a final audited in fiscal year 22 of 500,000. And then in fiscal year 23, we budgeted the use of 733,000. We're going to come in substantially less than that at 516. And then we're rolling forward a little bit of that money for 635.
Okay.
What we're banking on is when project expenses come due, what 12-month window we're trying to hit those in, and money that may or may not be encumbered into the new year. More often than not, you'll see in some floor changes where we have to make corrections to TIF awards and grants line. So it's budgeting at its best is an estimate, but TIF and anything to do with construction or project requests for reimbursement, that becomes very difficult.
Gotcha.
So it's driven by cash flow. I always encourage everybody, look at all your TIF cash flows in the back of the budget book, because we give the revenue and we give the expense together. And if you review those, if you have any questions, please call me, contact Director McCarty, contact the department. But that's the broad explanation of why there's variances in TIF.
Thank you. And then also, Ms. Julie, can we get an update sheet of where our TIFs are currently sitting? I know we got one maybe a few months back, but can we get another one?
I know that both Stacy and John have updated that, and we'll send that to Council Coordinator Griffin for you.
Thank you so much.
Alderman McMiniman.
Congratulations to the entire staff. If you go back 2 budget years, $5 million passed through your department, and this year's budget is $27 million, going from $5 million roughly to $27 million. And some of that money comes to us no matter what, but a lot of that money is coming to us because of the grant writing. And we're going after every dollar we can get from the state and federal government, so nice going. I know it was kind of a heavy lift a few years ago to add to the grant writing team, and it's proven to be money well spent. So congratulations to all the work you're doing. It's a lot of applications and lots of follow-up and verifications of all kinds that you're required to perform. So keep up the good work.
Thank you. From the team.
Any other questions? All right, so let me jump in here real quick. I will say, and the Alderwoman Purchase brought up his name, whatever, I would just say, I think you guys do need some staff along with some partnerships. I know in the back of our handout, there was some planned partnerships with the Small Business Development Center. I also would like to see that along with the Black Chamber of Commerce as well. I do know they'll have an office over there at the new Cap 1908 spot, so that will work well. I think one of the things that we can do with being pension mindful is really partnership with some of our, in contract with some of our individuals from the community. I know throughout the cannabis process, not only the Springfield Project and the Black Chamber of Commerce was assisting us, as well as One in a Million Inc. Was assisting us. Both of them are stationed in communities of need, one over by Popular Place and, of course, the other one in Southtown. So I think those are very, very good partnerships. And they have some things going on already within the community where people are coming to them seeking out services. And they have some experience with doing our applications and being successful with it. So I think those are great opportunities. The young man that we spoke on, Ravi, and individuals like him, all of our whole team does a great job. I speak to Krista and Miss Donna and Miss Amber. I'm so happy to see her on the team, and as well as you folks. But he really, really, his spirit really is why people are calling his phone and why he probably got a lot of messages, because he got out into the community. He worked it with a lot of energy. And he, of course, took on a lot and stuff. So I do miss him, and I'll be glad when he comes back. Because he did a great job. On the cannabis grants, I know the new round is about to open up. So I hope that we'll review that process in its entirety. I know the application process, he came up with the whole system that graded you on job retention and all of these things to really make sure that the businesses that were scored were going to be good businesses, and we're going to be businesses that returned investment back into our community. And out of those 69 applications, they all were scored, and we were able to award 22 of those, and not perfect, but guess what, we're getting down to the near of it, and you guys have done a good job handling that and different changes. I think that's a great idea to call them all in once we do award them and really go through it all, and as I say, build partnerships with with some groups in our community to really help us with some of our paperwork with some of our programs, because I like what Ms. Donna said. We're going to run and not walk, and I agree with that, and that's what we have to do, especially for communities like the one I represent. I think a great point that you pointed out is that only $3 million of your budget comes to our corporate funds, and the other 90% are federal and state funds, which have very specific rules and guidelines, and many of those go to the areas that I represent, as well as Roy, and so we're very interested in the application of that and the disbursement of that, and ensuring that it gets to the communities in need. And you guys do a good job with that. I made a lot of notes because this is one of my favorite departments, of course, right? I know we do have our TIF programs coming out, the TIF and the SHA program updates, where we did, we dropped the amount from 50% to 10%. I know Ms. Julia is going to have some communication coming out with that, but, in that same instance, I hope that we can review those, make sure that everything's right. I know I looked in an old program. It was not an old one, but the first responder program. When you clicked on that link, it had not only the details of that program, but it also had like a flow sheet of how that would go, and I think that will help in those two programs as well. I will say all of the programs, all of the projects that we started out in Ward 2, and I thank the council for voting to approve those. Those things are 95% complete. The Taylor House has one last thing to do. Cap 1908 has been a wonderful addition to our community, and the Engine House number 5 has seen some work with their parking lot done. So we have completed those things, and we're going to go back to the drawing board to continue in our community. But I say that because people in our community, from our community, a lot of times, don't think they stand a chance up here. But I thank people like Springfield Project and Dominic Watson and the others for really completing those projects, showing that it can be done. I had a question on Nehemiah project, and you can give me this answer later. When would we be breaking ground on that? Where are we at with that? As we have completed 50 or so mod demolitions in the area, general area, we look forward to see 40 new ones built. So, I think that information would be important to us.
So we are just finishing up their environmental review. And so then they're free to break ground, and it's going to be in about 7 to 8 days more. We just have to get the release from HUD.
Okay.
And then that's for that portion of it. It's not for the, but he is supposed to be starting, so
Okay.
we'll keep you posted.
I appreciate you. My last final comments, the Illinois Criminal Justice Information Authority, the R3 Brighter Futures, I think that will work well with our workforce development programs. Once we get that going, they can roll right into that, get some training, and hopefully move on into a good union job or something else. Now, I did have some questions on our minority business enterprise. I know I spoke, and me and Ravi, along with the mayor, we were working on trying to build a system. I fuss at Nate all the time about subcontractors. So we want to build a system similar to the state where minority businesses will be able to go through this paperwork and, all that cute stuff, and gain a certification through the city so we can build a minority contractors list, and those are subcontractors list, and then those contractors would have those contractors or small contractors would, get an monthly email about different contracts that are available with the city of Springfield. And that will help us boost those numbers up. I always speak on that, and we've been trying to figure out a nice game plan for that, and intertwine that with the community as well, with Black Chamber of Commerce, Small Business Development Center, Greater Chamber of Commerce, to really build that pool for us. So I check on that. I'm sure that'll be in his notes. That is about all my questions. I apologize for taking so long. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right. Thank you. Great job. Yes, sir.